I'd like to tell you a story and a song that came from this story. It all starts with me being a musician, and I travel, and sometimes I'm on the road on weekends, and I come home Sunday night, I'm a little bit tired. I have one vice left in life, being a type 1 diabetic, and that's sugar-free ice cream. So I'd been dreaming about a bowl of it, putting it in the microwave, putting my spoon in there and kind of warming it up. And I came in the back door, and my wife Nancy was on the telephone. And my wife Nancy is from Florence, Alabama. Of course, I'm from Minnesota. And she put the phone, covered the phone up, and turned her head to me the minute I walked in the door, and she said, "John, this is my friend Bo on the phone. He has a friend named Isaac, and Isaac is a terrible alcoholic. He's been in treatment 42 times in mental institutions, and he's had 11 DUIs, and they think he's been drinking real heavy, and he's in a hotel in Nashville, and they think he may be dead, and would you go get him?" Of course, my first thought is, no, I want my ice cream, but of course I got over that. I said, sure, I'll go get him. And fast forward a little bit, I got a friend, and we got Isaac out of there, and he was alive, and we took him to a place to get help. He was physically in a lot of danger, so we got that part straightened out, and then we tended to his spiritual needs. And fast forwarding 2 years now, Isaac has been sober for 2 years, which is a miracle. I had talked to his family through this process and found out that Isaac, since he was 14 years old, had never smiled. And at this point in his life, he's 64. And the story is that he and his dad went to get milk down in Demopolis, Alabama one day when he was 14. And they crossed the railroad tracks there, and they got hit by a train. And Isaac's father disappeared in front of his eyes, and Isaac somehow lived through all that, many, many broken bones and a broken heart. And his life took a turn that day, and I had spoken to his kids and his wife, who didn't want anything to do with him anymore because of his alcoholism. And that's when they told me that Isaac hadn't smiled in all those years. So Isaac calls me one day. He says, I want to go to Knoxville, Tennessee with my new friend Jimmy. And we're going to pick up an old car of his that's at his mother's house. So I asked some questions. I do a little research on Jimmy. It turns out Jimmy's from Youngstown, Ohio. His whole family's in the mafia. Jimmy ran a prison in northern Michigan for a while, got in trouble with the feds, and ended up in prison. And then, much like Isaac, Jimmy's life went downhill with alcohol and drugs. Somehow or another, they run into each other in Nashville, Tennessee, at a place called the Sober House, where men like them live and learn to live a new life. And they become friends, and mostly because Isaac will never drive again. And Jimmy had a little secret that he told Isaac, that he had trouble reading and writing some things. So Isaac took care of that for him, and Jimmy drove him around. So Jimmy asked Isaac to ride along and go to Knoxville to pick up this old car, and Isaac called me and said, can I do that? I said, sure, give us all a call and keep in touch. So 3 days went by, and there's a bunch of us that are all friends, and we hang out, and we all came out of this place where we meet sometimes, and it was a sunny June day, and we look up, and in flies a Mercedes-Benz convertible with gold hubcaps. And Jimmy and Isaac are in there, and they fly into the parking lot, and the tires kind of screech, and a little smoke flies up, and rear end of the car spins around and looking straight at us, and both of their hands are straight up in the air, and they've got these huge smiles on their face. And they go, we drove 95 miles an hour the whole way back. And that picture froze in my mind, because I knew that Isaac hadn't smiled in 50 years, and there he was with a grin from ear to ear, and it looked like his teeth didn't know what to do. And right at that moment, I thought, somehow God just puts us together in just the right way and gives us the things we need. This song is called God Works That Way. Jimmy got his old car back, a Mercedes-Benz, riding with the top down and his brand new friend. His name is Isaac, he's a good old Alabama boy. He's been fighting the old devil who just loves to take his joy. And now they fly through the Tennessee hills, waving their arms in the air. Jimmy was born in Youngstown, where you had to be bad. Isaac in Demopolis, in the backseat of a cab. Jimmy says, I always wanted a car and a friend to call my own. Now the oddest couple in the whole damn world are flying down the road, and they fly through the Tennessee hills, waving their arms in the air. 'Cause God works in mysterious ways, sometimes putting us in just the right place. Who you're with is never a mistake if you believe God works that way. You see, they just got back from war with a bottle and a pill. No, they're not weak men, it's no matter of will. And while crawling back from emptiness, there came a light and a spark, when the angels made them angels to keep each other from the dark. And now they fly through the Tennessee hills, waving their arms in the air. 'Cause God works in mysterious ways, sometimes putting us in just the right place. Who you're with is never a mistake if you believe that God works that way. Well, I believe, yeah I do, that God works that way.